Are you ready to rediscover aspects of yourself that have been locked away for hundreds, even thousands of years? We are reaching a culmination point in our collective evolution that will yield the opportunity for you to step in and activate these codes within your consciousness, within your DNA. In order to do that, it requires a certain sequence of code that has to be input into this reality that will allow you to activate this within your DNA. Just like a computer requires certain codes in order to run certain software, it requires a very specific sequence of keys in order to activate those and utilize those within your computer, within your software, whatever it is that you are using. If you do not enter it exactly as it needs to be entered, then it's not going to open up and give you the opportunity to work with that. This point in our collective evolution gives us the opportunity to make the decision whether we wish to stay in our current paradigm, trapped, stuck, continuing in this hamster wheel, repeating our cycles, and just not living up to your fullest potential. Or we could step into a new paradigm to create new opportunities for yourself, to take the key that is already inside of you and to unlock those doors that have hidden parts of you, not only in this life, oh no, but in many, many lifetimes. It's time for you to remember who you are, to activate those parts of your soul, to rediscover your soul identity. And it comes when you activate the fire codes that are lying dormant within you right now. Stick with me here and I will help you to activate those within you, to embark upon the pilgrimage of your soul that will give you the tools that you need in order to make this journey happen, in order to activate this sequence of coding within your DNA and to shift into a new paradigm, into your highest timeline. Hi, I'm Cody, and I help people to activate their divine fire codes that will ignite their heart ablaze and open the door to limitless possibilities. So what are fire codes? I like to think of fire codes as a specific sequence that will unlock a new set of coding that will activate dormant parts of your DNA. Think about it like our alphabet. Within our alphabet, we have letters. We'll call these fire letters. These fire letters correspond to our DNA. These fire codes, they're made up of what are called fire letters. Fire letters correspond to our genetic memory, Fire letters correspond to our just like the alphabet, these fire letters serve as a genetic alphabet, if you will, for which we can create words from these fire letters. So it's similar to how our alphabet makes up words. Within each letter of the alphabet, they themselves contain their own energy signature. But together, these letters make up words, and these words make up sentences. It's all a progression. It builds upon itself. The fire letters are our genetic alphabet of our DNA. They become activated and organized through neurological receivers that take in the information and send it back out to the world. Every human incarnate is part of a larger family of incarnated selves called the Personal Christos. The Personal Christos is the eternal personal identity that includes 1,728 simultaneous incarnations Each incarnation is placed within their own personal space-time location. So that is why whenever you affect the present and you shift in the present moment, you not only transform your future, but you also transform your past. And not just your past, but your simultaneous incarnations that are happening now, right at this very moment. So even something that you may perceive as happening in the past, when you shift in the present moment, because all of the energy is connected, it literally does alter the past. And there are beings here from the future, I should say, in terms of how we perceive time, that are coming back to this present time where we're at now in order to affect the future. So they came back to this present moment in order to shift and to regain control of consciousness so that we remain asleep. We remain with our DNA dormant. So that is why it is crucial for us to activate these fire codes, because these fire codes are time vectors that literally alter time and space whenever you activate them. It's like, I like to think about it almost like in a video game. You cannot get to the next level without completing a certain sequence of events. And there's almost, there's cutscenes that happen once you reach a certain stage, once you reach a certain point. These cutscenes are like, it's like waiting for the input to be put in, just like the fire letter sequences. Whenever you put in that input, it gives you back an output. That output is what transforms you, is what activates those dormant parts of your DNA. When those activate within you, it's like a fire. It really is like a fire activating within you, because it's like it incinerates all of these old beliefs, all these old thoughts, all these limiting patterns that we had as we embrace this new version of ourselves and we step up to the next level of our consciousness awareness, our consciousness evolution. It's a similar thing with electrons as well, because once they get a certain amount of energy and they're able to jump to a higher excited state, it alters the chemistry of the protons and neutrons for which they're interacting with. What is key for us here is we must embark upon the pilgrimage of our soul in order to truly activate these fire codes within us. And this is something that used to be present in our society, in our culture, when we were more of a tribe, when we had that connection to nature, to each other, to ourselves, to the oneness of all that is. We had these initiations that took us to these next levels of our consciousness, because once you go through these events, you go through this series of events, it's just like the fire letter sequencing, but it's happening on the external. When you go through this pilgrimage, it creates a sequence within your DNA that opens you up to a higher state of awareness. And you start to shift and evolve and embody new energies. You start to open up to new levels of awareness that you didn't see before. Things start to click and fire and wire in your brain. You start to form these neurological connections, and you start to have all these neurological synapses fire in your brain because you're forming these bridges within yourself by doing it externally. So it's like the external reflects the internal as you literally go on these quests, these pilgrimages of your soul. It activates parts of you. And that's what happened with me whenever I went to Egypt. It created an opening where there was new opportunities, new activations, new energy flowing into my life. And it happened like all at once without my conscious interaction with it. Once I stepped into that role and I stepped into that path, it started to give me that feedback. It started to reflect back and give me messages and signs and signals that guided me and has been guiding me since. It's been an incredible experience, but we all have those pilgrimages, and it doesn't have to be going to another country. It could even be in your backyard, and also to explore that within you. there's a pilgrimage that we have to take internally as well as externally, because it's all connected. But ultimately, even if you've read The Alchemist, it's just like when you go on these pilgrimages, you put yourself out there into the world. What you ultimately find is that the answer was there all along within you, because when he returned back after this long journey, this long voyage of discovering who he was, he found what he was looking for all along. It was right there the whole time. But he had to go through this quest in order to get to that understanding, to come to that realization. And that's what we have to do in our lives. We have to embark upon these voyages that call to our soul, because they are calling something deeper within us, something that needs to be activated, but cannot be activated without the right perspective, without the right experiences. And sometimes this isn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be external. It could be a certain program that you do, a course, a video that you watch, something that you make, some kind of project that you put together, a community event. It could be anything. But what's important is that it calls to your soul, and it speaks to you. It lights you up. That's what it's all about. That fire. Activating that fire in your heart is the first step to understanding and unlocking these dormant parts of you that have been hidden, to activating these dormant strands within our DNA, unlocking these fire codes that will open you up to a whole new realm of possibilities. So I urge you to put yourself out there, to start exploring what it is that lights you up, that gives you that fire within and pushes you to become your best self. With that, I'm so very grateful to be here on this journey with you, my friend, and I look forward to connecting with you again in the future. If you need help activating and stepping into this path in your life, I help people to activate the fire codes within their lives by seeing what it is that they need. Sometimes all it takes is another perspective and going through the right experiences to see it from a new vantage point. So if that calls to you, I urge you to reach out, connect with me. I'd love to have a chat with you. And until next time, peace, love, namaste.